An exciting feature enabled within Blueprint to more accurately and efficiently conduct yield estimates in seed corn is the photometry technology. This feature uses imaging analytics to count kernels with speed and accuracy. To get started, the user first needs to select the field that they're going to conduct the yield estimate on. Once we've opened up that field, you can see that on this specific area, we've already collected 4 yield estimates. And so what we're going to be doing now is collecting our 5th and final yield estimate. One great feature within Blueprint is the ability to select and view historical information. If I select each one of these yield estimate points, you can see all of the associated data specific to that point for yield estimates as well as moisture estimates. A couple enabling features for conducting good yield estimates within the application are the GPS Find Me feature, which you can find in the lower right-hand corner, that provides visibility specifically where you're at within the field. Another great feature that will be utilized for conducting yield estimates will be the crop health imagery. In this example, we're going to select specific imagery that's going to help guide us to the areas of the field so we can get good representation between low crop health, average crop health, and high crop health. Once we're ready to conduct the final yield estimate, we're going to do a long press and hold on the specific area where we want to associate that information. In this example, once we press and hold, we'll have the ability to conduct a yield estimate or a moisture estimate specifically within this area of the field. When we get to that area, a best practice is to already have a good handle on the harvestable ears per acre or harvestable ears per hectare. And in addition, a good best practice would be to already have all of the ears needed, which is 10 total, already husked back and ready to be imaged. Once we're ready to start the yield estimate, we'll go ahead and select Start Yield Estimate, and we'll enter in that information for the harvestable ears per acre or harvestable ears per hectare, depending on the region. In this area, we have a final stand with harvestable ears of 32,500, and we have secondary ears on the second node of 2,000 secondary ears per acre. Once we're ready to start imaging the 10 ears required for that yield estimate, we're going to select Take Photo, and what that will do is pull up the camera and allow me to create that yield estimate using the imaging technology. What you'll notice is that during the yield estimate, you'll have parameters to show where to specifically place the ear to get the best imaging as possible. After each image, there will be a review page, which is shown right here, that allows the user to move on to the next ear by selecting Next Photo, or retaking if there are any quality control issues such as blurriness. In total, there will be 10 ears that will be required to conduct that yield estimate prior to completing. This would be an example where I wasn't quite satisfied, so I'm going to hit retake, and that's going to take me back to the 5th photo to retake that image and move forward. In the field, we would not be imaging the exact same ear 10 times. We would be using 10 different ears to get the best representation possible, and so this is just for testing purposes only. Once we have 10 total ears imaged, we have the ability to hit complete. And what that's going to do is give a review and summary of that specific yield estimate at that point we just conducted. So you can see in this example, it reviews we had 32,500 harvestable ears per acre and an average kernel count across all of the ears that we imaged of 526. Once we're ready to complete the yield estimate, we would select Send to Seed Pro. If we were in an area with poor or limited cellular connectivity, that yield estimate would be saved on the device locally until the user was to get to Wi-Fi or cellular connectivity, and then it would upload at that point in time. Since we have a good connection, we'll hit Send to Seed Pro, and we'll see in the upper portion of the field that that was successfully sent. What you can see now is when we select the area of the yield estimate that we just completed, we have confirmation of who conducted the yield estimate, the associated data, and that it was sent up. If for any reason that yield estimate for that specific area needs to be deleted, that is a possibility by the user who authored that yield estimate. So in this example, if we were not satisfied or for some reason we needed to delete that estimate, if we selected delete, it would prompt and make sure that we're ready to delete, and we would select yes. You can see that that yield estimate has now been deleted from both Blueprint as well as SeedPro. One area to give really good visibility is the field overview. If we scroll up anywhere when we're on the main field of the drawer, we have the ability to have this overview, which gives information around all aspects of the field. What you can see here is that on this field, across the 4 yield estimates that were submitted, we have an average field harvestable ears of 18,575 with a field average kernel count of 346. It's very important to note that each one of these yield estimates has the sent denotation, which means that this information has been sent directly to SeedPro and has been uploaded into the SeedPro yield estimate screen. At any point in time, just as with looking at the individual field, if a user were to swipe to the left, they would have the ability to delete that yield estimate, just like we did from the pin. Otherwise, this will be all of the information that is sent to SeedPro and will be utilized towards producing high-quality 80K yield estimates. One final note is each one of these yield estimates is averaged and sent to SeedPro. So the yield estimate that's reflected within SeedPro is going to be an average of those 4 as we look at each individual field. And that would be the case if there were multiple users that conducted yield estimates within this field at the same time. Those yield estimates would be averaged across all of the users.